Here we go. All right, BBChako. I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so this is probably a corny question, but what's your favorite filter? Not your go-to filter, but your favorite filter. Is there one that is like kind of, I mean, I don't want to say your go-to, but the one you really like looking at, like the one you want to use, but you can't find a reason to?
I'm a sucker for a good black and white.
Okay.
I can't get away from it. I need to.
Now, that's not sepia. That's something else.
No,
Black
just straight black and white photos. I think I err on the side of using it too much.
Oh, okay.
But I love it so much. I love, because when it's black and white, everything's simplified and...
Classic. She likes the
you see all the
classic look.
details. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Guan? Bonjour, famille. Bump Jonas here, and I'm sitting with...
BBChako.
We're about to have a sit-down at Syke show. Let's get started. All right, so first of all, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I actually have had a photographer before, right? And is that what we should call you, a photographer? Photog? What's the proper...
I've kind of come up with my own, well, I don't know if it's just me that calls myself this, but I'm a visual artist.
Ooh.
So it's photography, videography, graphic design, marketing, creative direction, kind of just anything in the creative realm in the music industry. So I'm so much more than a photographer.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to start off with a disclaimer. I apologize. I was focusing in on the photography part.
No, I mean, that's what I started doing. So
Okay.
that's kind of how I got into all of this.
Okay.
So there's no, it's what I love. It's what I'm good at. But I'm doing more.
Multifaceted and well-rounded.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And you mentioned music industry.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your focus, or
Yes.
so you're a music visual artist. Wait, we got to say that better, right? You're a visual artist.
I'm a visual
focused.
artist in music in the music industry.
Wow, this is going to be interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
A tangent question already. This is how it's going, guys. Does photography translate to videography?
Maybe like an inch of it.
Okay.
like just a little bit.
Right.
Enough to make you go, oh yeah, I could do that. And then you get into it and you're like, I've opened a Pandora's box.
A big old can.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. It sounds like, is there some anecdotal story there?
Well,
Something happened?
I think I remember the first video I shot. You just go into it and you're like, yeah, I know how to work my camera. I know how to do this.
Right.
I know what settings to use when I take pictures. And then video is just so much different. There's
Right.
a lot more moving parts. And so your focus is kind of split up more. And
Okay.
you need different equipment and stuff. So I definitely went into it pretty confident. And then I was like, I think I need to learn a lot more about this.
And the wish list just got bigger too. Like, I need
oh
a
my
couple
goodness.
more of
And
these.
video equipment, camera equipment's already expensive, but video equipment just takes the cake.
You know what?
My goodness.
I didn't bring that up, but I want to talk about that. The cost of equipment. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Yeah, with capitalism. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't help it. All right, but look, here's a cliche question I do got to ask. Who is BBChako? What do you do and why?
Yeah, okay. Well, my name is Brianna, but BBChako is kind of what everyone knows me as.
Okay.
I just chose it, and then people started recognizing me as I got more into the KCC, and they'd be like, BBChako, and I was like, I kind of like this. It kind of sticks.
Okay, so they gave you that name. Or
yeah,
what?
well, yeah, everyone, I didn't really have my name on my profile, so everyone just didn't know what to call me, and they called me my username,
Yep.
and I like it.
And there you go.
It works for me.
That's how
so-
nicknames work, though. That's how the
That's
good ones
true.
work to
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and so what do you do? Like, we know you're a visual artist,
Mm-hmm.
but what does that mean? Like, if one of us is like, oh hell, I want to hire a visual artist. What can we expect to get?
Yeah, I mean, it's the real question is, what do you need? So people come to me, I'm a service, People come to me, they have a vision, they have a goal, they have a dream, and I make it happen. So, hey, simple as that. We can wrap this up right now.
Well, I'm like 5 minutes in and we've already got the catchphrase and shit, like already selling y'all. No, I'm kidding, but seriously, keep doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, but the why. Let's talk about the why. Then why are you a visual artist? Why music as your niche? I met you through Jaybird, I believe.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Okay. There we go. That helps me like put everything together. So, but yeah, why? Why are you doing this?
It's such a loaded question. Growing up, I was in art class and in choir for like 10 years and piano lessons at the same time.
Okay.
My mom and dad wanted me to have a really well-rounded art experience. And I mean, this was like a local art class, like nothing crazy.
Right,
It
but it's still the experience.
Right. It's
Yeah.
still growing up. So every week I'm in art, music, and it's all the time.
Okay.
And so I was always a very, very creative kid. When I was like 10, my dad bought me and my sister this little tiny Fujifilm camera with a 2 gigabyte memory card.
Ooh,
so
that is like...
it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. So we would unload that thing like every day after we just take a bunch of pictures and all that. And I think it ended up fading kind of for her, but I was obsessed with it.
Okay.
I wanted it with me everywhere, all the time. I would record everything. Oh my goodness. Every time she took the camera, I'd be like, give it back. Like,
Wait, so were you like the weird dude in that one movie? I'm going to mess it up. We're going to move right on past because there's... What's the movie with the balloon?
I'm the wrong person to
I know.
ask. I'm not a movie watcher.
Do you know that guy in that one movie? Never mind. We're gonna move right past because I messed that one all up. Never mind. But anyway. So
No. I just loved it. And I kind of lost all of my creativity in college when I got so burnt out from just academics.
Oh wow.
And I came out of college and I was like, I need an outlet. I need something to. I knew I was creative. I knew I wanted to use it. I just had nothing. No direction.
Right. Okay.
And so I moved to Kansas City for a job here.
Okay.
And at this job, I met Jay Bird at we were in a meeting together.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
we worked at the same job, and I ran this meeting and I met him, and he said he was a rapper, and I was like, okay, this is probably the most interesting person at my workplace.
Right.
Like,
So let's see,
I need to know more. I don't really know why. I just was so curious.
Right.
Like, I don't meet a rapper every day. Like, that's so cool. And so we ended up just like talking a little bit or whatever, and then a few months later at like a company event, he was telling me a little bit more of the story of his life. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm like inspired by this. Like, this is really like, I don't know. So I made some like, yeah, it is. It was resonating. And so I like did some art based off of his life, and I showed it to him, and he was all like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And I just was like, oh, that's cool. And then like 2 weeks later, he was like, yo, I need some cover art. Can you do it for me? And I have never made cover art in my life, but I was like, yes, I can do this. Absolutely. And so I figured it out. And ever since then, he trusted me with like photo shoots, cover art. We ended up doing videos together. We're still doing videos together. And Jay Bird kind of put me in touch with all of his friends who recommended me to all their friends.
Right.
And then I just got connected into KC really, really quick. And, you know, it's not a huge scene here. So, like,
it's very
once
easy
you know, you know.
Yeah,
but it was pretty much because of him that I, like, launched into the Kansas City scene because I'm just not from here.
Right.
So I didn't really know anyone to begin with.
I wanted to ask about that. That was later on, but let's go ahead and get to that, though.
Yeah.
You're not from here. Where are you originally from? And I guess we kind of got the story of how you got here or why you got here, right, for work. But where are you from originally, and what keeps you here?
I'm originally from St. Louis, so just
you're
across.
Midwest still. You're
Yeah,
still
oh
Midwest.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm born and raised.
Okay.
And I think Kansas City's a lot like St. Louis. There's a lot of enmity, a lot of beef. People have very strong opinions when it comes to St. Louis, but forever in my heart, I love you. Forever, St. Louis.
Shout out to my man John I-70 podcast. We got no issues with St. Louis. We like the Chinese food.
I'm never going to disown the city, so I got a lot of good friends there, a lot of people that I work with. I actually need to go back because I haven't been in forever, and they miss me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, why KC though? Like, why are you still here? Why do you? Or let me not that came out bad. What keeps you here?
I think it's someplace I can see myself putting down roots for the time being.
Okay.
It's a growing city. There's a lot of development to do here. There's a lot of people to work with. Big cities are cool, and I think traveling to them is cool, or temporary living, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure I would live there forever.
Yeah,
you know?
like KC's homey. It feels good.
Yeah, it's definitely someplace that you can find a community.
So one of the questions I had was, how did you discover your talents? But I think it sounds like your talents were kind of nurtured in general, and then it was an outlet in itself. So I'm going to kind of flip that question and ask, how does it feel to be able to express your talents and actually, like, that terrible word, profit off of your talents in a way? How does that feel?
That's a great question. I would say finally being able to have an outlet for myself that makes me really happy is is exciting. I think that's why I've been successful is because it like ignites something in me. Like I start taking photos or taking a video or doing art or whatever, and I'm helping somebody elevate and reach a goal. It's just nothing like it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it.
You feel fulfilled in the process.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
It's a skill that I have.
Come on.
And I can
good.
use it for somebody else. I mean, that's just
You really can't.
it's crazy.
Can't ask for much more, right?
No, it's fulfilling. I don't have a better word than that, but and then it tickles a logical side of my brain. I'm a business major, and I work in marketing as my day job. So to be able to turn it into a business and use that strategic side of my brain.
Did you go to school? Are you actually using your like school
I
learning
am.
and shit?
I'm like the only person I know that has ever used anything from
Unicorn
college.
in a building. I'm kidding.
But it was just one class. Really, the rest of it was a waste of my time. So
Damn. But
YouTube
that's the one
University
that
all the
matters.
way.
That's the one that matters, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so favorite type of shoot. And I got to apologize. A lot of the way I phrased this was around
No.
the idea of you being, using a camera, but there's a lot more going on. So
I'm still using a camera a lot, so
it's
very
still there.
relevant.
Okay,
Very relevant.
Still works. We're safe, guys. We're
Yeah.
safe. But I mean, what's your favorite type of shoot? Is it nature? Is it people? Is it setting? Is it indoor?
I think my favorite type of shoot is shooting for somebody that has an idea.
Okay.
That's fine. And there's no shade to people that don't have ideas and they come, because I also love creative direction and collaboration. But when somebody really has an idea and then we can focus on it and hone it in, I don't really care where we are. We could be in a studio. We could be in on a lake. Like, I don't really care.
Because
but
you're at that point, you're pulling their idea.
We're like collaborating together.
Yeah.
We're working on it together, and we're actually making something happen. There's a big difference in my work when I show up somewhere and they're just like, well, I don't know. Just make it happen versus...
You mean a difference in terms of like the result,
the quality,
product.
absolutely, because then I'm just put in this position to just make something appear. And
Right.
It's not as great of a product. I can do it, but I would rather show up someplace and we've got a storyboard, we've got a vision, we've got a plan, we've got goals, we've got outcomes, we've got the way that it wants to tie in with a whole album rollout or whatever the artist is doing. Like, it's so much better going in with a plan. So I don't really location.
It sounds like those kind of things ignite all the other aspects of what you can do when there's those pieces or elements
Absolutely.
involved. Okay, all right.
It all ties together, which is what I'm finding more and more as I get deeper into the music industry. Like the way, like, think about Tyler, the Creator. Iconic, because he ties everything together, from the cover art to the way he shoots his music videos to the way he puts on a production, concert, live, everything. It's a brand, and that's when you go into a shoot with an artist who kind of wants to fit something in their brand and they've got an idea. Maybe they don't know how, like, they don't know everything. They don't know how to execute. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. Like, I'm ready to work, you know, but they've got at least the part that is like willing to put it into.
They've got the vision. That's the important part, right?
Exactly.
Because then you can start figuring out all the other pieces to paint the picture. Okay.
Exactly. And that makes my job not just easier, but it also, the quality is just better.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like it makes it more enjoyable too in some ways.
for sure.
Not that you don't enjoy any aspect, but like you can just really like lose yourself in a process because you have a focus.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Is the edit more important than the shot?
You can fix a lot in the edit if you mess it up in the shot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're equally as important, but if you don't plan out the shot, the edit's going to be making you cry yourself to sleep at night, But if you plan out the shot really well, the edit will go pretty smoothly and you can crop and touch up and finagle like your way out of the mistakes that you made, just because when you're shooting, everything just gets so chaotic.
Right. So when it comes to the end result and delivery to the client, is it almost expected that you're gonna have to spend some time editing or adding some kind of edits, or are there times where like that raw shot is just good enough?
Not for me.
Okay.
I think for some people, the way their style is, or the way that the camera that they've chosen, or just however they want to make their work happen. I've seen some really, really cool, just raw shots straight off the camera. They're done. It's not for me though. I really like to have that finished, polished look to all of my work, and I just find that editing it is the only way to achieve that for me. But
all right, there it is.
To each their own style. Some people are knocking it out of the park just straight off the SD card. So props to them.
Look, you know what? everyone, like you said, to each their own style, but it doesn't matter because what you do is good. And I always like to take a moment to give people their props. I think it's important for folks to get their flowers, obviously before they're gone, but even more so before the recognition comes. Like, because when it gets big, then it's like, is this even real? But what I want to say is that as a transplant myself, I think that you've done an impeccable job of making yourself part of the scene without like making yourself the scene. You know what I mean? It's not such a hey, I'm here. It's just like, hey guys, I'm here and I want to work. And I always love positivity, and you bring a very good, strong sense of positivity to what you do. I didn't realize that music was part of your background environment, but it makes sense because of how you integrate into the music scene so well. So thank you and appreciate what you're doing.
Thank
What you're
you.
bringing
That's
here.
a huge compliment.
Nah, you deserve it. You've worked for it. So make sure I ask this right. First of all, I assume that there's some music or probably some music involved while you're on a shoot.
Sure.
Are you listening to the same music or the same genre of music while you're shooting versus when you're editing or, doing the logistics stuff?
Probably. I'm a big hip hop person, so a lot of people I work with are in rap and hip hop. I mean, that's who I've worked with so far. I like pop as well. I kind of want to get into that, and so whenever we're like hyping up a photo shoot or we're like
You're already jamming,
on a video scene, we're just setting up equipment. It's like, all right, put something on that we can get because everyone needs to get hyped up. It's not just me; it's the other people that are working. It's the lead, whoever it is. They're nervous. I mean, everyone's nervous. Everyone's a little excited. So put on something that's going to give everybody a little hype.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, and then editing. It depends. I mean, if I'm editing a set of photos, maybe I'll listen to a podcast. I mean, it could be anything. Yeah, sure. I'll watch something while I'm editing. But if it's a video, I'm just stuck listening to whatever song over and over and over again, just all night.
So how does that work? Because I know from working with and talking with engineers, there's a certain point where you just kind of turn a part of your brain off because you're just like repetitive, right? So I mean, I guess my question is, how long can you go before you're like, okay, I got to step away?
Oh man, like no more than a few hours.
Okay,
and that's pushing it.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's pushing it, and I'll have to change up like which part I'm like editing because sometimes I just can't even edit linearly. I'll have to be like, all right, we're gonna do because sometimes it'll be like the first half of the song, second half of the song. Like, okay, let's work on the second half for a minute. I'm so tired of the first half. I can't listen to it one more time. Like,
yep, there we go.
It's still good though.
Oh, okay. And you may not even know this answer, but why do we call the photographer the shooter? Like, why is it called shooting? Like we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, why is shooting involved?
I think because photos are shots, so you were the shooter of the shots.
Why is it a shot? Like, where's the shot? Low key, that was a bar though. Shooter of the shot.
Shooter of the shots.
Let her have that
hey,
one.
I might just switch to music if this doesn't work out. I'm kidding. No one wants that.
Yo.
I don't. Photographer is a photo shooting shots.
It's
I mean,
just all
it
there,
kind of
okay.
is in there somewhere,
Yeah.
and then you're really cool if you say shooters. So that's probably why people say it.
Okay, so it's okay to be called a shooter.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
I mean,
you're comfortable, like,
sure.
My shooter's in the building.
Yeah, there's a lot of memes about that. If your algorithm just suddenly skews towards photographer stuff like mine does, they'll make jokes about like the shooter like shot the kids, and they'd be like, but it's a photographer for a family. It's supposed to be like a funny joke. Yeah, exactly. So
Dark humor.
Yeah, but I don't really care. It doesn't matter.
How do you get ready for a shot? Like, what's your process of getting prepared or getting relaxed?
Yeah, it used to be crazy. It used to be like all day I would just be like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm just thinking about it. But now that I've done it so much, it's more like making sure I have all my equipment. So I will pack my backpack like very slowly. Actually, I give myself plenty of time to make sure, okay, I've got my lenses, I've got my SDs, I've got my batteries, I've got the things that I've promised my client that I'm going to show up with to deliver. I need to make sure I'm showing up with those things. So I think the packing, the prep is really important. And then I'm always early. Nobody's ever on time. So I should probably just start arriving on time. But I can't stop myself. I have to arrive early. I check out wherever we're shooting, or I get in and set up, or stuff like that. And I just feel like the more I take myself seriously, the more, the farther I'm going to go. Because if I don't take myself seriously, no one's going to take me seriously.
Come on.
So.
My arm's going to hurt, man. Yeah, good thing we're working out, man. I like this. So how do you get your clients to relax?
That's a great question. I don't think I've ever had anyone that's too tense. Music does really help.
Okay.
Especially if I don't know them, I've never met them. Just like, hey, let's put on some music and chill. Sometimes I'll ask them a few questions, but most of the time, I just make it funny at the beginning. Like if we're doing a photo shoot, I'll be like, okay, some of the things I'm going to ask you are being really weird. And if you bring a sense of relax, just like energetic, whatever, people will relax pretty quick. And then by the end of it, they're like, you're really cool.
You're like,
yeah, I'm exhausted now. But yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no. It's most of the time the people I work with are not too nervous, but I think I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to shooting, so everyone kind of relaxes.
She said shooting very comfortably there, y'all.
That's true. Wow, called out because I did just throw that right in there.
I'm just saying.
Funny.
No, I'm messing with you. Okay, this one's tongue in cheek. Are there more photographers or podcasters out there now?
Oh, probably like the same amount.
It's about a good mix.
And they might be the same. You know, if they're so into photography, maybe they're a podcaster. I mean, you work with the camera, right?
Yeah.
So you could just pick it up right now and start shooting somewhere.
Hold on, y'all. No, I'm kidding. That's not funny. The white Miss Tisdale here takes way better pictures than I do. I am not with that.
But it's kind of in the creative realm. It's kind of like photographers that become DJs. You know, it's a part of the creative brain. It's that the juices flow and you're like, I think I want to try something else. Like, I don't think I'm forever going to be one thing.
Okay.
I think I'm really good at visual arts.
Right.
But maybe someday you will find me on a DJ stage. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
What would be your DJ name?
Oh, that's a great
would you
question.
Stick with, like, BBChacko?
I might have to. I mean, think about Shaq. He's a DJ now, and he didn't change his name?
DJ Diesel, which is still
he
Shaq.
is,
But
you're
I mean,
right.
Shaq is still known for Shaq Diesel, so he didn't really go off brand.
Okay. So maybe it would be like something related.
Yeah.
But not totally away.
Not fully on the nose, but
maybe so. I have to think about that now, because that's my long-term plan is to retire a rich DJ. So.
All right, y'all be looking for those Easter eggs.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that. So when did you become comfortable charging for your services?
That's a great question. Not for a minute. I needed experience in certain areas and like concert photography.
Okay.
I only recently started charging for that because you just have to kind of go to concerts and shoot them.
Right.
Otherwise, you have no idea how, because it's like a totally different breed of shot.
Okay.
So usually, at the very beginning, when I first started this, if it was something I'd never done before, I wasn't going to charge.
Right.
Because I just felt
kind of
like
a given, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done it. I don't know if these photos are going to turn out. I don't know what the end product is going to be. So I'm just not going to put any sort of burden on the person. I'm just going to do this for free. So now I've done a lot, and I feel confident in most areas. And if I'm not, I know people that I'm going to hire or bring along with me as a team to fill in where my skill might gap.
Right.
And I don't do things for free anymore. So it was definitely like a progression. But I just recommend to people, like, if you're getting into anything, get in for free. You'll have an open door and turn those people that you did work for into clients later on.
And for $99.99, you too can
That's
get
some
this
free
book.
advice right there. I'm dropping free game.
Okay. So there is a section in a lot of my questions that are interviews that I do where I call feng shui. Studio feng shui. We're going to switch it up for you a little bit. It's still studio feng shui, but for photographers, for the shooter.
Yeah.
What are some things that you, and I mean, obviously you're not in a studio all the time,
Right.
but you're in a session. So what are some things that have to be in that session in order for you to feel like you had a good shoot? And what are some things that cannot be in that session in order for you to feel like you had a good shoot?
I think negative energy, if we're going off the feng shui thing, if people are are acting weird, it really throws off the whole shoot. It puts people's energies off. The subject is usually more uncomfortable. I kind of have to like manage a situation.
Yeah, you're like...
You're right, I'm trying to work on my work, trying to make them okay, but there's this thing going on in the background that's like, it just throws off everything, and my concentration just is like immediately split in half, and so I'm not like showing up fully for who's paying me to be there.
How do you handle that? Like, do you? Because I mean, in some regards, you're running the shoot, but the client is in charge. But if you have this extra that is potentially with the client, you're like, hey, can we? Do you remove them off the shoot or? Yeah.
It's definitely different per situation. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with it too much. Okay. I think the client doesn't necessarily show up and think that they run the shoot. I am heavily looked on as the lead, which I wasn't quite expecting at the beginning, but now I've definitely taken a more assertive role.
Okay.
And I think that makes people feel more comfortable because like somebody's in charge, someone's directing, someone's,
I don't have to be.
Right. Like they look to me to be like, okay, what's the next scene?
Right.
What's the next shot? Where are we going next? Who's the next person coming on? And that's me. Because I'm a one-person show right now, so I'm director, I'm producer, I'm everything.
Okay.
So I think in the past, as I've built my confidence, I don't think I handled the situations well. I would just try to like ignore or like tune it out or whatever. But now, if that happened again, I think I would be much more comfortable. Be like, hey, you're causing this issue. We're here focusing, so maybe can you leave or just join back up with us later? Right. Or if this is going to be a problem, then we're going to have to reschedule because
and now it's affecting the whole.
Because it's affecting the whole thing. Yeah. So I definitely feel like my confidence has grown to the level where I could address that and have the, the willpower to kind of bring that confrontation up a little
Murphy
bit.
Brown. None of that shit on my set,
you
y'all.
As a woman in the industry, you kind of have to like square your shoulders and be like, all right. I'm a young person.
I try not to touch that, but that's a real statement, though.
It's a real thing. And I'm not just a woman, I'm young. So immediately people look at me and they're going to try to bully me or try to push me around or get whatever they want. And it's like, no, you can't.
So, okay, tangent. How has some of your experiences as a photographer, as a shooter, helped you in your professional life?
Speaking my mind, kind of on the same track. As a professional in corporate, you're very, everybody's friendly to each other. There's a lot of just circle back around and check what I said per my last email and things like that. And it's like, well, that's okay. Like everyone's trying to work together. So I get it. We all have to be really polite and friendly and all that. But I've learned on the photographer side of things, like I have to be a little bit more assertive.
Yeah.
I can bring some of that into the corporate world and voice my opinions and make sure I'm being heard. And I think that's been really good for me.
Let's go.
So it kind of works both ways. Both of the jobs I do are very symbiotic.
Right.
They help each other.
Look at her using corporate speak.
That's
too,
right.
like that. Okay. Ooh, this is the part where we have to pay a couple of bills, y'all. All right. Sponsored question time. This first question goes out to Thrax Pastry. Nothing for sale here, just a suggestion where you can spend some time. You'll enjoy the journey. This one's a super easy one. What's your comfort food? You've had a long shoot. Let's say you've had a 6-hour shoot, which is probably a long one, right?
Yeah.
You've unwound, you're at home. What's that meal that lets you know, like, my day is done and I can just relax?
Honestly, it's probably not something I'm going to cook at home. I like cooking.
That works too. You can make it, bake it, buy it, doesn't matter.
No, it's going to be Wendy's.
Oh, wow.
It goes back a long ways. It's like an inside joke at this point, but after every like very long shoot, I've just gotten Wendy's. And I don't know why, but it's the first thing I think of on the way home. I'm like, oh, you know what would hit right now? Wendy's.
Is it the Frosty with the fries?
I will do that. I'll do that. Strawberry lemonade. The 4 for $4 or 5 for $5, whatever it is now. I think they raise their prices.
She out here talking struggle foods and shit. I love it.
It's good. It's undeniable. I don't know.
All right. So this next question comes from our sponsor, Bargain Hunters Paradise. First Friday weekends, all the time, Friday and Saturday and Sunday, they have West Bottoms Market. My question for you with this one is, when it comes to, let's say, like an open air market or a large space market, what are some things that draw your attention? Like, is it the smells? Is it the sights? Is it the sounds?
It's got to be the sounds. I will look for music everywhere I go now.
Okay.
I'm drawn to the music. I'm drawn to the live performances. If I hear music in the distance, I'm like, I wonder who's performing where. It's kind of just like in me. Now it is something I just can't not see when I go places.
It's just there. You're almost trained to look for it.
Yeah.
Listen for it.
Because I'm interested in it. It just immediately I'm like, who could I network with? Who could I meet? Like, do they have a manager? Do they need photos? Like, maybe I could just.
Oh shit.
find a new client tonight.
I don't think her hustle mind ever turns off.
It doesn't. It's on 24/7. I wake up thinking about it.
Okay, so now this last one goes out to our macro sponsor right here, Syke Studios, not far from the home of Casey. When it comes to studios, and I think it's for you, especially because of how you work as a visual artist, what are some things that are important for you to see or to have in a studio space?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of different studios. Most of them have been great. They've all been pretty good, both in St. Louis and Kansas City. It's really great when they have a speaker, again, for that music part, to just relax everybody. If there's some background music, everything goes better. So speaker, cleanliness is good. If it's just clean, organized well. And then whoever's managing the studio, as long as they kind of give us our space and let us do what we need to do, that's the best if they can just do that.
Get out the way.
Yeah, because sometimes the person, maybe the client isn't expecting there to be another person there, and so they'll immediately be like, oh, now I'm kind of embarrassed, or maybe I don't want someone to be watching me. So it's like, if they could just go to their office or whatever.
Get out the way, just disappear.
Yeah, but most people are pretty good about that.
I like that. Okay, just a couple more questions. Yeah. I appreciate your time. Great subject, by the way. Just to throw in some shooter jokes there. What color is your aura when you're in a session?
That's interesting. Huh. Probably like a dark purple.
Okay.
Deeply creative, kind of introspective. I try to keep everything like calm.
Okay.
Because if I'm calm, everyone else is calm.
Right. So keep it chill.
Keeping it chill.
All right.
Yeah, definitely a cool color for sure.
Tribe Called Quest vibes and shit. I like that. Ooh, okay. And I ask this because I feel like, well, for me, it's because it's the Midwest. That's just my personal opinion. But it seems like people really enjoy the sort of horror, creepy, cryptic kind of theme shots. Mm-hmm. So what's been the creepiest shot you've had to do so far? Or have you had any requests yet?
I did have one request, and it didn't end up happening. I don't remember. I think they ghosted me or something because I asked them, what's your budget? And then that question was like...
Yeah, that's always the killer.
Scary. That's a scary question right there. That's a spooky question. It scares people off like nothing else. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. He was wanting to shoot like he was like, I'm dead and I want to come back to life. And so in my basement, there's this bathtub and I'm going to fill it full of like water and Diet Black and I'm going to be coming out of it and you could just shoot that. And I was like, yeah. Okay, like,
that's a wild shot.
That's an interesting. So we're going down to your basement, and you're gonna be like dead.
Like, all right, buddy.
I was like, I will be showing with multiple people because that already sounds like I'm gonna be putting myself in a strange
GPS
situation.
And tags and everything.
Find your friends, Life 360. Like, what else do I need to turn on?
A little swab or something.
Right. No,
that's wild.
That was weird. And I was kind of like already on the fence once he said that. I was like, I'm not sure.
Thank God for a ghost in that one. Like, just.
Yeah, he got me out of that one, but that was odd.
All right, so all right. This is like my philosophical question. If money was taken out of the equation, would you still do what you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, in the way, I guess. No, you said that too quickly and easy, so that's just what it is. Yeah, you would. Yeah,
because I still do things that are free.
Okay.
And I still love it. So.
There you go.
I continue to keep doing it. And I don't think I would stop. I think it is a passion just deep down inside me. I love that I've turned it into a business. I love that I can offer that. But it's so fulfilling, I don't think I would stop. Because
okay.
Yeah.
If you were, I just got one more here, but it's kind of a tangent that is bubbling in the back of my head. So, I lost it. That's okay. I lost it. Okay. You're a Midwesterner. Let's use this one. Soda or pop? What do you call it?
Soda.
Soda, okay.
Yeah, I don't.
You're like, what the hell is pop?
No, I think that's sort of a Southern thing. People say that about the Midwest. And I'm like, I don't think pop is like as big here.
Okay.
I don't know. Not in St. Louis, at least.
Maybe that. I've heard mostly soda, but I've heard pop a few times, depending on how far in the outskirts I go.
Yeah. I think that's the real thing, is how far outside of the city you go, and that's when you start hearing it. Cause
there you go. Okay. Oh, she's a city girl. I think we just found out something here.
City girl.
We just unlocked some origin story, y'all. All right, so look, we got to get up out of here. But the one question that I ask everyone, and before that, I want to just tell you I appreciate your time. Great conversation.
Well, thank you for inviting me, because this is my first podcast, and I do appreciate it. Yeah, yes. I love the chance to get to talk about my life and my work and all that, and reach a broader audience.
That's what
I'm
we're
all
here
about that
for.
networking. So
we're here to tell your story.
But yeah, thank you for the invite.
Well, you know what? Here, let's do this though. Why don't you let them know where they can find you? Is there any specific way to contact you or to reach out to you? Matter of fact, here's a good one. What are some good ways that they can prepare for a shoot? How do they request it, and how do they do all the proper things so that you guys have a good shoot?
Yeah. Well, right now, the best way to reach me is through Instagram. I mean, I think that's pretty much everybody in the modern day world.
Yeah,
Social media, easy, but IG, I'm constantly on that, talking to people and kind of strategizing and stuff. I will be launching a website soon. I kind of had a portfolio out there, but as I've now have an LLC, I want to make a business website. So on that website, there'll be a contact form, and you can kind of specify what you're looking to do. And I'll be reaching out after that form is submitted, but I'm still finalizing it. It is quite the project to build a website from scratch. So that's coming though.
Are you building it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Holy shit, let's go.
I told you I'm a one-man team, so
it.
I'm doing everything. If you see something that has my name on it, I've done it.
Stamp that shit.
That's right.
Let's go. I like that.
But yeah, no, I mean, when you come to my DMs or when you want to email me or whatever it is, I'm ready to talk and be creative and find the direction we need to go. So I like the idea of talking about it. So you don't have to have a fully fleshed out idea, but it's easier when you kind of know what way we want to go down the road.
At least have a vision of sorts, right?
Some vision.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that. All right. So look, here's my closing question. When it's all said and done, when the shoot is over, what is it you want your clients, your subjects, to walk away with as far as the experience?
Well, people come to me because I'm a service, like I said. I mean, people go to a masseuse to get a massage. They want to walk away being relaxed. Maybe some of the tension out of their lower back and shoulders is gone. They maybe needed an hour away from the kids. Whatever it is, they went to the massage place. They paid for their hour, and they left, and they felt better. I'm the same way. You are spending your hard-earned dollars with me. You have an idea, you have vision, you want to push your platform farther, you want to reach new people. I want to make you get there. I am going to be the person that's going to help you get there. What I provide is the pathway for you to get there. And so I want you to walk away feeling successful. And I want you to walk away with the product that I give you to push you towards success. So if people are walking away feeling disappointed and that did nothing for them, then I was having a bad day, because that's not good.
There's somebody on the set fucking it up.
Yeah, we'll just blame it on someone else, even though it's just me. But it's got me, myself, or I. One of them messed up that day.
There was that random person that was.
Yeah,
bad,
they just walked by and totally threw it off.
Bad energy. Yeah.
No,
right.
no, it is on me, and that's the exciting part is that I can make those things happen, and people have a vision. I am the line that takes them to that vision. So
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, y'all. It's been a hell of a conversation. Bump Jonas here with none other than
BBChako.
And we just had to sit down and Syke show. Now, as I always say, love yourself like you try to love the world. Do something to earn your place in the world this week. Just be some dope individuals. Y'all have a good one. Peace. There we go. That was it.
Oh my goodness. So exciting.